Francamente, un programa diferente, con temas de actualidad mundial, de interés para todos. Francamente, historia de inmigrantes, temas sociales, cultura y lo mejor de nuestra música y nuestros máximos exponentes de la canción. Les invitamos a disfrutar Francamente con la reconocida periodista Brenda Superfan y sus corresponsales en toda Latinoamérica. Francamente, tu revista de actualidad.
My name is Lydia Forte Santiago, and I'm here to greet you. This is the new year, 2015, and I'm wishing everybody a very, very Merry Christmas and a healthy and happy New Year. And I'm over here with Brenda, and we're going to discuss some of the latest paintings that I've done, and I'll tell you about them and how I started them and how I kind of worked them up and everything. And there's one of them. Is of President Reagan that I just did.
Just painted a big, beautiful portrait of President Ronald Reagan. How were you inspired to do this?
Well, I'm a member of the Women's National Republican Club on Fifth Avenue, and I want to get involved with the club. One of the ladies there had suggested that if I did a portrait of President Reagan, because they all love Reagan, and I titled the painting Our American Hero, they would hang it up on loan, and it would be on exhibit. And this would be good because for me it's also good advertisement, and it's something, and I love Reagan. So that worked out really, really good, and I'm very happy with the painting. They haven't seen it yet because what I plan on doing is around the spring I want to make a presentation at the club, and what I'll do is I'll have an unveiling. I'll present all my paintings, I'll talk about each painting, and then I'll have an unveiling of President Reagan, and then I'll kind of let them have it on loan to exhibit it.
It's so good to hear that everybody's so interested on having a portrait of their pet. How does that make you feel to know that people wanted to do that?
I love it because I love pets and I love people. So it's really, really encouraging for me as a painter to want to do people's pets, because I notice that they love their little animal. It's like a family member.
Absolutely.
So and some of the little pets, if they've passed away, they still want a pet because they want to remember their pet.
Absolutely.
So it's really nice.
Yeah. That's a nice one.
I painted this little painting, and it was through this painting that my customer saw it, and she loved it, and she said, "Oh, could you do me and my pet?" So this was good. This was a good motivating factor. So this little pooch was somebody's dog, and I also this little painting. This is a reproduction. The original the person has, and this really started me off because everybody fell in love with these little paintings of their pets. And I figured, gee, this is a good thing to do. And then as they were walking by down the village, they all asked me to do their pets. Cute. This little pooch I sold a couple of times because it seems to me that everybody has this little one. This is a cute little dog, and they all love this dog. And when I was in Manhattan doing the Washington Square art show, they were all walking by with this little dog. And I thought it was so cute. This painting has a story, and this little painting is called Fleeting Moments. And the reason it's called Fleeting Moments is because that's how youth is. And this little boy, which looks like a girl, but it's really a boy, with this pit bull. This painting, I went to my husband's aunt's house, and we were looking at old photographs. And this photo was in the 20s, and she said, take whatever picture you like. And I fell in love with this photo, and I thought, gee, I think I'm gonna take that and paint that. And I paint that. We didn't know who this little boy was. And then my husband's cousin went on the internet and did some little researching and found out that this little boy is his Uncle Nick. So that was quite a surprise. So now it's really, really nice. So out there with nice vintage photographs, people have their grandparents and their past relationships that sometimes they haven't even met. I reproduce it from a photo. This is a monochromatic style. It's all in one tone because the photograph wasn't in color. It was like this. It was just one color. So this is why I did it. So it's called Fleeting Moments. And a story about this is, in those years, they didn't have nannies to take care of the children. So they had pit bulls. And if the mother was if the little baby was in the yard and the mother was doing something in the kitchen, she could look out the window and see that the little boy's protected. And this collar is spikes. And in those years, the reason they wore that spike collar is because if another dog came and tried to attack the dog, they always go for the throat. So those spikes is to protect the dog. And of course, then the child would be protected. So that's the little story about this painting. Fleeting Moment.
So,
on Fifth Avenue, and I saw a beautiful painting there, and the painting was done by Grimshaw, and he's an old master painter, and I really love the painting. And I asked the lady, I said, what is the price of this painting? And I believe she said it was like $950,000. And she said, this is an 18th century painter. And I looked at it and with a magnifying glass, and I said, yeah, I bet I could do something like that. And what I did was, on a Sunday, I went to an antique shop with my husband and his cousin, and I saw a bunch of photos, and I was looking through all old photographs. And what do I see but this photo of, this is Nova Scotia, Canada. And this church is St. Paul's. And when I saw the picture, I fell in love with the picture, and I said, this, I will paint it. I took the picture, blew up the picture, and I did this painting. And then, as we were in our business, my husband and I, somebody came in and said, that looks like a Grimshaw. And I was really, really pleased because I'm not Grimshaw. And I was really honored that she would say something like that because I did the painting, you know. So that was kind of nice.
How long does it take you to paint the church?
This took some time. I think this took over, like, because this has a lot of detail with the lighting and the perspective and the cloud. So this took like over a month. Paintings can take from 3 months to 6 months to weeks if it's small, but this particular painting took quite some time because it's very, very detailed with the lighting and everything, and I had to get everything just right. My mother loved flowers, and how I got inspired by this is because she had passed, and I said, gee, I'm going to make a painting of flowers, something like in her memory. So I put this book here. The name of this painting is The Diary. This is a diary, and this is like somebody wrote in the diary, and this is the glasses of the person was writing in the diary, and then I put a little candlelight, and this is exactly what inspired me to do this painting.
How long does it take you to do that?
This also took a while because this painting, again, it's very detailed. So something like this takes a while. It takes over a month, you know, to get it just right. And then I also varnished it to coat it up, and it was exhibited. This painting was exhibited at the Salmagundi Club. I'm a member of the Salmagundi Club in Manhattan, and I also displayed this and exhibited this in their main gallery.
Let's talk about this one here with the family.
This is really a beautiful painting. The title of this painting is Blessings. And this painting, the husband was a fireman and he was involved in 9/11. and he was retired. And for Mother's Day, he wanted the children to give a portrait to the wife. And I did a painting of his two children and her. And he surprised her with this painting. And I titled the painting Blessings. And then she came in, she had tears in her eyes. She thanked me so much for the painting. So that was sort of nice. I really loved that. A painting of my husband and I did this quite a long time ago. And I took a course with Mr. Kinsler, yeah, Mr. Kinsler, and at the Art Students League, and it was through his motivation that I did this painting. Oh, Marilyn Monroe, that's Marilyn Monroe, of course, and I love Marilyn Monroe, and I did that painting because everybody loves Marilyn Monroe. It's a beautiful painting, it's a beautiful picture of her, and a lot of people wanted that painting, you know, so I have sold some of her. And I figured I'll do another one. It's very beautiful, and I really love Marilyn. The title of this painting is Screaming Eagle. And this soldier, he's airborne in 101 Battalion in Vietnam. And this gentleman gave me the photo of himself so I could paint it. I really liked the picture. I asked him if I could paint it. And now the gentleman in this picture, he was about 20 years old. Now he's about close to 80. So it's Screaming Eagle. It's when they jump off the plane. This is the parachute, and here's the parachute. And it's also a very old photo, so it's also monochromatic in color. It's basically under one tone. But it seems that a lot of people like this painting, and I kind of enjoy doing this painting because this painting has a lot of feeling. As you can see, his eyes, they're very like, it's sort of menacing because you're going to jump off the plane. And I made like a menacing cloud and dark because it's the fear. Some of the men that jumped did not make it. Some of them actually did not make it because the parachute didn't open or something, and some do. So it's very fearful. So I wanted to put a dark cloud and focus his eyes because it's not an easy task. Screaming Eagle. That is the name of the painting. The title of this painting is The Pioneer. And this this boat, which is called the Pioneer, is down South Seaport, and they give you a ride, 2-hour sailboat ride, and they take the people out. And of course, my husband and I went on the ferry boat, and he shot this picture of the Statue of Liberty. And to make the painting more interesting, he made a suggestion that I should put the Statue of Liberty. So I said, yeah, that is a good idea. So I put the Statue of Liberty there, and then I put the Pioneer boat with all the sails, and I put a few people there. He likes to play guitar, so I stuck him in there playing the guitar. So that's sort of cute. He likes that. It's a nice day where the sun wants to come out, and it's a very calm, soothing day. So it's called The Pioneer. This took a while to do, by the way, this painting, because this painting has a lot of stays, a lot of sails. This was a to-do, the water, the effect of the water, and it's always reinstating your painting. I paint and then I reinstate it, I let it dry. It's thin on thin. You paint it and then you let it dry, and you come back and you paint it and you're reinstating to build up the effect. You got to make the water look like water, the sails catching the wind. So it's a bit dramatic, and you have to kind of catch this to pull the spectator in as they're looking at the painting and admiring it. This painting, this was also a very motivating painting. I got a photograph at the Richmond County Yacht Club because I'm a member there, and the young lady that shot the photo, his name is Joanne Seacott, and I really liked that photo, and I said, gee, could I have that photo? I would like to paint it. And it was given to me because eventually I'm going to donate this to the Richmond County Yacht Club. Because of Sandy, it's still they still didn't finish the club, but once it's done, I will donate it so they could hang it in the new club. So this was before Sandy. The name of this painting is The Memory Lives On, because this is no longer there. When Sandy came, it wiped everything out. And as we look at this painting, you could see all these menacing clouds. That night it was a full moon out, so that was just before Sandy. So it's no longer, it's non-existent. It just doesn't exist anymore. And this is the tender that takes people out to their boats when they're gonna go sailing. And right over here at the end, we have a nice little pretty painting with some grapes, fruits and grapes. It's apples and grapes, and this has like a bottle of champagne, and it almost looks like they're ready to celebrate. It looks like a celebration is going to be coming on, and that took a little time to do. This was a still life. I did this because I went to the Art Students League, and I was doing a lot of still lifes, and motivated me to do this. And this gentleman came in and he asked me to do a little portrait of his granddaughter, which I did. And then his wife came and picked it up. And then he came back and he said, you know, I was in Korea in the war, and I hung on to this photo. And it's because this photograph that I believe I came back alive, because so many men did not make it. I would like you to paint this, but keep it for yourself. I don't want you to paint it for me, for yourself. And my husband said, gee, it's the holidays, and he gave you that picture. And me being a religious person, which I am, because we get all our talents and everything, and we're always blessed from the heavens above for all our talents that we have, I decided to paint this, and I love this little painting. It's very, very adorable. It's done in wood because I wanted to turn it into like a little plaque. Painting is called Serenity because it's very calm and soothing, and the seagulls are flying and the waves are hitting on the rocks, and it's just a very calming day. And sometimes after a hard day's work, you like to come and look at a nice scene like this. So this is really pretty, and this motivated me because I live near the ocean and I love the water, and I'm always looking out and seeing the effects of it, and I'm looking at the seagulls flying, and it really is a pretty painting, and I love the water. So this is what motivated me. Okay, and here is my two little precious granddaughters. The little one is Reese and the little taller one is Charlie. And this is their pets. This is Pride, the little poodle, and Spooky. And this really was a very cute painting. I took them to the mall, and I had them take their pictures, and I told the girls, don't give me that cheese smile. I want to make this look like an old century painting. And I said, just be very serious, because it has to look like an old Renaissance painting. And they were they loved putting on their clothes, and I put just a touch of little makeup on them, so little. And I dressed them up, and we took pictures of the dogs and the cat, and I slipped them in so they could have their pictures taken, and they just loved the paintings. They love it. This painting, the reason I did this painting was because I'm a member of the Women's National Republican Club, and a nice lady that's involved there with the committee suggested that I do a Reagan because they wanted me to make a special event, and I could have an unveiling, and I could present all my art, talk about it, and then our hero, Ronald Reagan, and have the painting on loan. I put the American flag in because it's all about America, and it was a really nice. How I did this painting, I went to the library and I took out a book on Reagan, and it was all photos, and I found all different photographs of Reagan, and I kind of pieced them all together. I liked the way he looked in one photo, and I like what he was wearing in another photo, and I pieced it all together and I came out with this. So it has like a nice American feeling to it. It took a while to do this because I just recently varnished it, and this took months. And what I do is, when I do detail, I work with a magnifying glass and I get very, very close to it so I can get all these little tiny little things, and I work with tiny little brushes. The brushes are very, very, and then I do minutia. I come back to the painting and I kind of clean it off and I detail it, and it's a process, but as you could see, the result is very rewarding. I want to inspire men, women, children that love art. I'm a Puerto Rican painter, and I started sketching and only drawing when I was a child, and I started very, very young. And there's a lot of people that are interested in art out there, and my motive here and having this show is to tap on your potential. It's not about me, it's about you and the talented people and the children and everything. And sometimes what you feel you can't do, you can do. And I always felt I can't do, but I changed my way of thinking to I can do. And this has motivated me a lot. So I want to motivate young kids, boys, girls, adults, older people. Sometimes you're in the home, retired people that have had a passion, like I've had a passion, but you haven't had time to exercise it because you've been at a job and the job has been there for so many years that you really don't have the time to paint. But now if you're retired, or if you're young in school, or if you're just confined where you can't do anything and you have that talent, it's nice to tap on and bring that potential. It's very rewarding, it's exhilarating, and you feel like time has passed. It's very therapeutic. And everything that I learned, hopefully I'm passing on to you. This is not difficult. This just takes time and effort and a desire. And if you have that desire, you could do it too. I also have little art lessons that I give for those people that are really interested in art, and they come to me, to my studio, which is also a business. It's a barbershop and it's a business, but I also give little art lessons for people that are interested, to motivating and help them, and just to pass on everything that I learned. So what I learned, I just want to pass it on to you. Painting is done by 15th century painting. This is by Rembrandt, and I met an art curator at the Salmagundi Club, and he had seen my work, and I told him, he said, "How did you do that?" And I said, "I did it from a photo." He says, "You should be painting at the museum." And I says, "I can't paint at the museum, that's illegal. They'll arrest me for that." He says, "Nope, they will not." He says, "I'm an art curator." He says, "You could go to the museum." And what I did was, I contacted the museum. He wrote a letter, a beautiful letter from him, which I thank, and the one that also ran the art committee at the Salmagundi Club. And I was able to go to the Metropolitan Museum, set up my easel, and do this beautiful painting of Rembrandt. It was an honor. I couldn't believe I was in the Rembrandt room painting a Rembrandt. It was so, I was really, really exhilarated with that. So this little teapot is in the television show that I did of You Could Do It Too. So, sailboat in rough seas, it's also at the TV show in Staten Island that I did, and it's really pretty. And I spoke to somebody and they said, "Gee, water is very hard to do." And then I said, "Not really, it's not." So I decided to have a show where I could teach them how to paint water. And this is what motivated me to do this little sailboat in these rough seas. These are my little precious little grandchildren when they were babies. That's little Charlotte, to my right and little Reese to the left. And then there's a little bunny that they always took to bed with them. It was so cute. And over there I wrote a little book, and it says, and I want to pass it on to you because this is motivating. It says, faith. Believe you can and you will, no matter what you do. So you have to have faith in yourself, and you have to believe in yourself. When I paint, it really inspires me, and it's really so fulfilling. And I want to pass it on to you guys because painting is very, very rewarding. And it's so rewarding that when you start to paint, you can forget about time, forget about everything. Hours go by, it's just endless. Sometimes I don't even realize what time it is because I don't want to let the painting go. It's like, it's sort of like just a wonderful thing. So if I could pass this on to you, so you could have something too, to inspire you. The days are just wonderful because what I think of is, what am I going to paint next? I finished this painting. What's going to be my next painting? So this is so much fun. It really is very, very rewarding. When I think of painting, I think of colors, I think of values, of different lights, because it's all light and form. What we're painting, when we're doing a painting, is the way the light falls on a form. It could be a dog or a cat, a person, an apple, a bottle. It's the way the light falls. So it's really a study. This is what art is. It's a study of light, the way it falls on the form. And if you can think of it in those terms, it's really, really very, very rewarding. And I see the ocean, I stare at it and I look at it because at night you have so many different values. And then when you go at a different time of day, you have other values. And you have to look at the motion. Because when I was in art school, I was told by one of my art teachers, don't just paint, feel what you're painting. If you're painting water, feel the water. If you're painting a sky, feel it. A cloth, a dress, feel it. Don't just paint. This will make you a better painter. So you could put your heart and your soul into it. And the more you put into it, the more you get out of it. The sky, I look at the sky, and if you look at the sky, you see the clouds. They look like, it's not one shade, it's a lot of shades. And you have to get, when you paint the sky and the clouds, you have to get all those shades. And I also look at the shape of the cloud with the blue going through the clouds to make it look very, very realistic. You want your paintings to look realistic. What inspires me the most is actually portraiture. Reason being, portrait is the most challenging art form. Because when you paint portraits, you're painting people. And you have to capture their soul, their personalities, and you have to bring that out in a painting. So that to me is the most challenging, and that's what I love to do most. What inspired me of painting the little puppies was when I was at the Washington Square Art Show, that I saw everybody with their little puppies, and I was doing quick little sketches, and a lot of people stopped me and said, could you do a quick sketch of me and my puppy? And I said, yes. And I would sit down and I would do it. And I said, gee, everybody wants their puppy. It's very, very cute. And then some of them even wanted a painting. So I went from doing a quick little sketch in charcoal to doing paintings of puppies. And then in my own business, they said, oh, I like that dog. Could you paint my dog? And I said, certainly. That's what inspired me with the puppies and the dogs and the cats. The purpose of this show is to inspire artists, to motivate them. And you must not feel that you can't do something, and even if it doesn't come out right, because a lot of paintings that I've done, they don't come out right immediately, but I don't give up. I do it, and if I have to do it over again, I will. Over again, I will do it again. But I don't give up, because I know by giving up, it's not gonna get me anywhere. And to accomplish a good painting, you have to tell yourself and believe in yourself that you can do it and that you will do it. And if you keep that train of thought, it will happen. So I want to inspire you like I was inspired. And I also, another thing that I do is read motivation, books on motivation. There's one book out that is called The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy. And I read that book a lot because a lot of people feel that they can do things, and then when they try it and they overcome that hurdle, they really win the rewards. I hope that this year, 2015, you get all your art materials, and you get your canvases and your charcoal pencils and your paints, and you start doing some painting. And you could start basic. You could start with an apple, a flower, and I have on YouTube, Lydia Forte Santiago, some nice lessons that I have given that you could probably benefit from it, and you could start painting for the new year. Let's change the year and start with painting. I'm also on Facebook, Lydia Forte Santiago and Bartley Forte, and if you go on Facebook and you click on photos, you will see me painting at the Metropolitan Museum, duplicating an original Rembrandt. I took all my paintings and my easel, and it took me about 10 weeks. It was 3 hours a day for 10 weeks to start the painting and finish the painting. So hopefully this year is going to bring a lot of painters out of. I want to thank Brenda Superfine for this opportunity, and I feel honored to have her here. She really goes out of her way, and she's helping me with this show, and it's really an honor, and I want to thank her for it. And for all the fans of Francamente Internacional, I hope they will be viewing that show and seeing all the nice artwork that I'm demonstrating. And hopefully you go to YouTube and get the show. You can do it too, because it's always, you can do it too. If I can do it, you can do it. I have about 10 lessons on YouTube, and you just kind of click on them and you will see how to draw an apple with pastel, basic drawing. I start from the very beginning, from the ground up, with a black and white, and then I go into color. I'm open for other artists. If you want to get in touch with me on Facebook, and we could build a nice rapport, artist with artist, and I could give you some feedback and you could give me some suggestions, that would be very good too. Another thing too, there's always the Art Students League that I always go when they have a nice workshop, so I can suggest it to you. If you're talented and you want to develop your talent a little bit more, that's good. And another thing too is I always took, and I still do, private instructions. So when there's a private instruction with a well-known painter that I know, I take the lessons. Nice being on this show. It was, again, like I said, it was an honor to have Brenda come here, and I wish you the best of health and a blessed 2015, and don't forget to go on Francamente Internacional.
Such a pleasure to see you.
It's a pleasure to see you too.
And I want to thank you so much for this opportunity for me and for Francamente International program. You know, it's so much to learn about you. Every time I see you have another portrait, you have something, another type of art going on. You're a very talented woman. I congratulate you.
Thank you, and it's an honor to have you here.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I love your art, especially the portrait of President Reagan. That really inspired me very much.
Thank you. I hope a lot of other people feel the same way.
We are concluding Francamente International, and I want to thank you so much. I hope we get to see each other again in 2015 and see what kind of portraits you have, and maybe I'm inspired to take even a class with you.
Oh, that would be another honor. That would be great.
Many people that want to paint, they have some kind of art within them, but it's kind of intimidating. Here I am, I think I would like to do this, to do that, but it's so hard to start.
Not really. You think that it's hard, but it isn't hard. Once you get started, you're going to enjoy it so much that you'll forget about how hard it is. You'll just enjoy it.
So you start by getting all the materials together, and like you say,
and start with something simple. Start like an apple, a pear, a little lemon. Start basic. Something basic and simple, so you won't feel too intimidating.
Lydia, thank you so much. I do appreciate this opportunity, and like I said, we are hungry for more portraits. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thank you, Brenda.
Thank you. Wish you the best.
Yes, and thanks for Francamente Internacional.
to dream my we put our hearts together. Now we are one. I'm not afraid if there's a cloud above, and if it should rain. Oh, wait, but for tonight, we forget I'm from love. Okay, Francamente. The next song I'm going to sing is for Francamente Internacional. Love look away from me. Fly when you pass my door. Fly and get lost at sea. Golden day. Love, let us see me through. No good are you for me, and no good am I for you. One thing is certain, I cried too much after you go. I tried to look away, lonely though I may be. Release me and set me free. Look away, look away from me. Destiny, 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 destiny. You are my destiny. You are what you are to me. You are my happiness. That's what you are. You have my sweet caress. You share my loneliness. You are my dream come true. That's what you are. Heaven and heaven alone can take your love from me, 'cause I'd be a fool to leave you, dear, a fool I would never be. You are my
destiny. You share my reverie. You're more than life to me. That's what you are. Heaven and heaven alone can take your from me. 'Cause I'd be a fool to leave you, my dear. A fool I would never be. You are my destiny. You share my reverie. You're more than life to me. That's what you are. Destiny, destiny, destiny. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Put your head on my shoulder. Hold me in your arms, baby. Squeeze me oh so tight. Show me that you love me too. Put your lips next to mine, dear. Won't you kiss me once, baby? Just a kiss goodnight, maybe. You and I will fall in love. 'Cause people say that love's a game you just can't win. If there's a way, then I'll find it someday. Then this fool will rush in. Put your head on my shoulder. Whisper in my ear, baby, words I want to hear. Tell me that you love me too. Polanka, thank you. Somewhere above there is a heaven, and somewhere above there is a star. I believe for every drop of rain that falls, flowers grow. I believe that somewhere in the darkest night a candle glows. I believe for everyone who goes astray, someone will come to show the way. Oh, I believe. Oh, yes, I believe. I believe above a storm, the smallest prayer can still be heard. I believe that someone in the great somewhere hears every word. Every time I hear a baby cry, or touch a leaf, or see the sky, then I know I believe. Somewhere above there is a heaven, and somewhere above there is a star. I believe. Thank you. See the pyramids along the Nile. Watch the sunrise on a tropic isle. Just remember, darling, all the while you belong to me. See the marketplace in old Algiers. Send me photographs and souvenirs. Just remember, when a dream appears, you belong to me. I'd be so alone without you. Maybe you'll be lonesome too and blue. Fly the ocean in a silver plane. See the jungle when it's wet with rain. Just remember till you're home again, you belong to me. From nowhere through a caravan, around the campfire light, a lovely woman in motion with hair as dark as night. Her eyes were like that of the cat in the dark that hypnotized me with love. She was a gypsy woman, a gypsy woman. She danced around and round to a guitar melody. From afar, her face was all aglow. How she enchanted me. Oh, how I love to hold her near and kiss forever in her ear. She was a gypsy woman, a gypsy woman. All through the caravan, she was dancing with all the men, waiting for the rising sun. Everyone was having fun. I hate to see that lady go, knowing that I love her so. I love her, I love her. Gypsy woman, that gypsy woman, that gypsy woman, gypsy woman. And they called it puppy love. Oh, I guess they'll never know how a young heart really feels and why I love her so. And they called it puppy love just because we're 17. Tell them all it isn't fair to take away my only dream. I cried each night my tears for you. My tears are all in vain. I hope and I pray that maybe someday you'll be back in my arms once again. Someone help me, help me, help me, please, is the answer up above. How can I tell them this is not a puppy love? Not a puppy love. I must be going. My heart is showing. I better hurry away. If I don't leave, I'll be